In the heart of an ancient, sprawling oak tree, nestled amongst its gnarled roots, lived two tiny field mice named Puku and Puki. Their burrow was a marvel of snugness, woven with softest moss, lined with dandelion fluff, and always smelling faintly of dried berries and warm earth. Puku *** was a creature of comfort and routine. He loved the predictability of their burrow, the familiar squeak of the root door, the exact spot where the morning sunbeam touched the dewdrop on a cobweb, the precise taste of the stored sunflower seeds. The world outside, to Puku, was a place of unknown winds, predatory shadows, and overwhelming vastness. He believed safety lay in the known, and growth in the meticulous arrangement of their tiny home. Puki, on the other hand, was a whirlwind of curiosity. Her whiskers twitched incessantly, sniffing the air for distant scents. Her bright eyes constantly darted towards the sliver of light from the entrance, dreaming of the vibrant greens and mysterious rustlings beyond. Puki knew their burrow was safe, but she also felt a persistent ache, a whisper from the world, calling her to explore. Puku, Puki would often squeak. Don't you wonder what lies beyond the great oak? The stories the old squirrels tell, of rolling hills and sparkling rivers? Quote, Puku would merely sigh, meticulously polishing a particularly plump seed. Puki, the great oak provides all we need. Outside, there are hawks and foxes and cold nights. Why seek trouble when comfort is here? Quote, one crisp autumn morning, a peculiar scent drifted into their burrow, sweet, earthy, unlike anything they had ever tasted. It was the scent of a rare, ripe wild strawberry, carried on a gentle breeze. Puki's eyes widened with desire. Puku, do you smell that? It's magnificent. We must find it. Quote, Puku, for the first time, felt a flicker of temptation. The scent was truly intoxicating. But fear quickly reasserted itself. It's too far, Puki, too dangerous. We have plenty of seeds. Puki, however, had already made up her mind. Then I will go alone, she declared, her voice trembling slightly, but firm. Puku watched, a knot of fear and a strange pang of regret in his chest, as Puki pushed open their root door, hesitated for a moment, then disappeared into the dazzling world. Life's first teaching, the courage to take the first step, even when scared. Puki's journey was not easy. The sunlight was blinding, the grass blades taller than trees, and every rustle sent a jolt of terror through her small body. She tripped on roots, got tangled in spiderwebs, and once, a giant shadow of a bird passed overhead, sending her scurrying under a mushroom for what felt like an eternity. She even fell into a shallow puddle, emerging soaked and shivering. Yet, with each challenge, a peculiar strength grew within her. The fall taught her to watch her footing. The shadow taught her to find shelter. The puddle taught her to shake off setbacks and keep going. And then, she found it, a cluster of the sweetest, most vibrant wild strawberries she had ever seen. Meanwhile, back in the burrow, Puku was miserable. The quiet was oppressive. The familiar comfort felt empty without Puki's restless energy. He imagined Puki facing all sorts of dangers, but also, surprisingly, discovering wonders. A profound loneliness, deeper than any comfort he'd known, began to gnaw at him. He realized that living safely meant missing out on living fully. Life's second teaching, true comfort lies in growth, not stagnation. After what felt like an age, Puki returned, triumphant but exhausted, her tiny paws stained red, carrying a precious strawberry. Puku, you cannot imagine the world. It's terrifying. Yes, but oh, so beautiful. Quote, Puku gazed at the strawberry, then at Puki's beaming face. A realization dawned on him. I want to see it too. Puki. And so began their joint adventures. Puki, now seasoned, became Puku's guide and encourager. She didn't mock his fears but gently pushed him past them. Life's third teaching, support and empathy make the journey possible. Puku still found the outside world daunting. He struggled to climb the rough bark of the oak, while Puki scampered up effortlessly. He was terrified of crossing the bubbling brook, while Puki navigated it with ease. But Puki was always there, offering a paw, showing him a safer route, or simply waiting patiently. You are learning, Puku, Puki would squeak, just at your own pace. And that's perfectly fine. One day, they ventured further than ever before, reaching the edge of a vast, open meadow. Suddenly, a fierce storm rolled in, the sky turning dark, rain lashing down, and thunder rumbling ominously. Puku froze. Paralyzed with terror, Puki, despite her own fear, knew they couldn't stay there. Puku, we must find shelter. Quick, follow me, she cried, leading him towards a cluster of thick bushes. But Puku was too scared to move. He huddled into a ball. Trembling, Puki, instead of leaving him, went back. She nudged him, squeaked reassurances, and despite the wind threatening to rip her away, she stayed by his side, urging him forward, step by painful step. Together, huddling under the thickest bush, they weathered the storm. When the sun finally broke through, casting a rainbow across the meadow, Puku looked at Puki, then at the vast, glistening world, no longer with just fear, but with a profound sense of awe and resilience. He had faced his greatest fear, not alone, but with the unwavering support of his friend. And he had survived. Life's fourth teaching, even in the face of overwhelming adversity, there's strength in unity and the promise of beauty after the storm. From that day forward, Puku and Puki continued to explore. They found hidden berry patches, marveled at butterflies, and even made friends with a wise old badger. Their burrow was still their sanctuary, but it was no longer their prison. It was a place to rest, to reflect, and to plan their next adventure. Puku, while still more cautious than Puki, had shed his fear of the unknown. He discovered a courage he never knew he possessed, a joy in new experiences, and a deep appreciation for the world's endless wonders. Puki, in turn, learned patience and the profound satisfaction of helping another find their own strength. The enduring lesson. Life, much like the great oak and the world beyond it, teaches us that growth begins at the edge of your comfort zone. Failure and setbacks are not ends, but stepping stones to wisdom. The journey is enriched by those who walk beside you, offering support and empathy. True strength isn't the absence of fear, but the courage to act despite it. The most profound comfort often comes from having bravely faced the unknown and emerged stronger. Puku and Puki, two tiny mice from a cozy burrow, learned that the greatest treasure wasn't a store of seeds, but a life lived fully, bravely, and with an open heart to all that the vast, beautiful world had to teach.